I saw this red, glittery, tacky love sign at Dollar Tree. And I mean, it's cute. It is. But wait till you see what I did with it, you guys. It is absolutely fabulous now and so much more my style. So I basically just took this sign apart and I remade it into a stand, okay? So my name is Amanda with Amanda Panda Projects. Make sure you are following the page or subscribe to my channel because if you think I make cute crafts, you may never see me again if you don't. So I took the letters and I had to get some of this glitter off of it. So I just took my sanding sponge and I just got as much of the glitter off as I could. I didn't worry about getting every single drop off. As long as the paper is going to stick to it later, that's all that really matters. So then I found some really pretty scrapbook paper. This is from the Valentines box that we just had. I designed this paper. You have a bonus pack if you got the Valentines box. And I just chose like 4 or 5 different coordinating prints. And I traced each of the letters onto one of the prints, okay? So I did an L, and then the heart is the O, but there's 2 hearts. There's a big heart and a smaller heart. So I did 2 papers for that one. And then I did the V, and then I did the E. The E right here is my favorite one, the doodle heart paper. So then after I had those all traced, I went ahead and I just cut those out. I use a friction pen, okay? So I just trace the letters right onto the paper because you're going to see later, I'm going to hit that paper with my heat tool and it's going to disappear that friction pen. If you do not have one of those, let me tell you, you need one, okay? You definitely need one of those pens. All right, so now that I got, see here I am getting rid of that pen so you won't see any of it on the outer edges of the letters. So once I had all my letters cut out here, now it is time to Mod Podge them, aka decoupage them to my letters. So I didn't, because there is a little bit of glitter on there, I just did a nice thick coat of Mod Podge. Once I had that coat of Mod Podge down, I just laid down my scrapbook paper right on top. You don't have to really worry about wrinkles with scrapbook paper because it's nice and thick. If it was like a napkin or tissue paper, you might have to worry about some wrinkles. You might want to use a brayer to smooth it out, but I just plopped it on there, used my hands to smooth it out, and it worked out absolutely perfectly. And so once I have all the letters on, I go ahead and I just dry it a little bit with my heat gun because you don't want the scrapbook paper to be wet because I'm going to sand it next with my little gator sander. It's my little detail sander, another tool that is a must-have for the craft stash. It gets in all those little nooks and crannies, and it just makes it look like the letters were made like this. You can't even tell that it's scrapbook paper. It looks like they literally came like that. All right, and this is a 5-gallon paint stick. You could use a couple of shims that were placed together. You could use some 12-inch paint sticks. You might have to glue them together to make it longer, but any type of wood piece as the base. I painted it white along with 4 Jenga blocks because I'm going to use the Jenga blocks to kind of reinforce these letters so that they're nice and sturdy and they stand up and they don't fall over. So if you just hot glue the letters, they're not going to last very long. So I just glued the Jenga blocks to the base, and then I also glued the Jenga blocks to the back of the letter. So, like I said, it helps it stand up there and reinforces it. For the L and the E, I was able to do it horizontally, but for the heart and the V, I didn't want to show too much, so I did it vertically. I wasn't sure at this point. I thought I might do Spanish moss at the bottom of the letters, but I tried it. I edited it out. It did not look good. I did a project like this for USA, and it was more of like a vintagey vibe, kind of like a distressed red, white, and blue, and the Spanish moss looked really good at the bottom, so I thought maybe, but no, did not go, didn't fit the vibe. Okay, now I meant to do this before, you guys. So this is my Tim Holtz Distressed ink. I wanted to kind of blacken it up a little bit here because I'm doing like a black and a pink kind of look. And I forgot to do it before I glued it together. I should have. It would have been so much easier and I would have been able to get more of the look I was achieving. So instead, I ended up using a finger dauber and just kind of dabbing it on there. And it still looks good. It would have been easier had I done it before it was glued. Now for embellishments, I took some baker's twine, some black and pink. I cut a few pieces and made shoestring bows. For this one, I strung a skeleton key onto the center of it before I tied the bow. And now I'm going to start gluing these embellishments on. So I just kind of put them all around. I did a little white foam flower there on the L, a pink foam flower on the E. I put some shoestring bows on the heart, on the tips of the letters. And then I'm gonna add a couple skeleton keys. I did one down there on the bottom of the V, and then I did another one over there on the top right of the E. And I just felt like it needed a little something else, so I painted a teeny tiny pink heart and a even teenier, tinier black heart. And I just glued those on there, one on the V, and then one right in the little dip of the L there. And I think that's it. We are done. This is so cute. I love combining different patterns of fun color and pattern scrapbook paper. It's one of my favorite things to do for so many different projects in so many different ways. It just adds for a really fun look. I just love this. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think of this one? Do you have one of those love signs? If you do, are you going to make it over too? Let me know what you think.